Today we're going to talk about our top 5 Google My Business tips for contractors. Stay tuned. So thanks for tuning in. As mentioned, we're going to talk about Google My Business today. Google My Business is one of those tools. It's a Google product. It's free, but it doesn't necessarily always get the love that it should get, right? So we're going to go over some tips today that we've got where you can do a lot of these things on your own, maximize your lead flow with a free tool from Google. There are a lot of digital services out there. When it comes to digital marketing, there's a lot of confusion sometimes about what one should do that's going to get the most bang for your buck when it comes to your business. You need a website. People say you need SEO, you need pay-per-click, you need Yelp is giving you a call. You need on and on and on the digital services that you need. But there are a lot of things also that can be done that don't require you to really do anything other than put in a little effort. And Google My Business is one of those things. So I'm just going to throw up some numbers here for you. One of the things that you can typically do, even on your own right now on your computer, is do a search. Type in plumber and your city. Plumber, and we're in Raleigh, so type in plumber, Raleigh, North Carolina. And what you'll come up with are the ads at the top, whether it's Google Local Services or the AdWords ads that are at the top. And it's going to be different if you're on mobile versus when you're on a desktop. And sometimes you'll get 2 ads, 2 local service ads, 2 or 3, AdWords ads. And then you get the map. And then you're going to get your organic listings below that. And so what we're talking about today is that map section. Because that map section, again, like I mentioned, it's Google's tool. It's a product from Google. It's their directory service, right? So the equivalent of the online phone book, that when you type in a business name, that you can get everything about that business based on what Google knows about that business. But so for instance, typically on a search page, 10% of the clicks go to the ads at the top. 30% typically go to the map listings. Again, it can be multiple, it can be 3, it can be 2, sometimes it's 4. It just kind of depends. And then roughly 60% go to the organic listings below that. But that 30%, click-through rate, as we call it, you really want to do everything you can to make sure your business is showing up on that map instead of one of your competitors. And there are definitely a few things that you can do on your end to make sure that happens. Number 1 is going to be claiming your business profile. And it's very simple. As mentioned, it's a free tool. Go to google.com/business, and it's going to give you the opportunity to claim your business, or if there isn't a listing already in there for you to create your own listing. If you just created your business today, you can go on Google My Business, create your listing. There's a verification process where Google has to send you a postcard in the mail that you then have to receive a code on to put into your dashboard. But go through that process, set it up. That's the easiest step on this list, is setting up that profile. Our second tip is to update your business directory information. So this means updating, for instance, your name, address, and phone number, making sure your description is on point, right? So writing a really good description as to what exactly you do, what service do you provide, what kind of customers do you typically like to work with. Also updating, what services you provide. There's also a service section in there where you can click the exact services that you do for the business category that you selected. But selecting your business category in that setup and that description piece is going to be really, really important. So you want to make sure you select the correct service that you provide. This is not an area that you want to go in and keyword stuff. So we don't want to just write keyword. We really want to make it so that when someone is doing a search and they see your business listed in that map section, that they get a full understanding as to what you provide. But we want to make it thorough, right? So we want to go in there and just update it. Everything that you can put into your profile, fill it in. That shows Google your commitment to providing as much information, transparency, and then also becoming an authority for that. So if you're leaving things out and Google has to fill in the gaps, it's going to fill it in with other people's information, other businesses, right? Your competitors. So if you can fill in all the pieces of information on your profile, that's going to go a long way again to maximizing the Google My Business listing, and so that shows up better on the map when someone is doing a search. Our third tip is going to be for you to add photos and videos, right? So adding photos and videos, and these can be geotagged, what's called geotagging. You can also put keywords on your photos, and this can be done with what's called a metadata editor. And it's usually free online, so you can go online, do a search for metadata editor, and you can upload this information onto your photo, and then upload that photo to your Google My Business. So then Google sees that metadata that's attached to that photo, knows it's in your city, knows it's a photo from your particular business, knows it's a photo about a particular service that you provide, all that information that you've tagged onto that photo. Google then picks that information up as well. But going in and doing this consistently, right? So a lot of people do the Google My Business setup where they set it all up and then they sort of forget it. But going into your Google My Business and continually sort of updating the photos, as you're completing jobs, taking a picture and uploading that photo to your Google My Business is going to be very valuable to you. So again, Google likes to see, its job is to kind of provide customers out there looking for services the best information possible, the most relevant information possible. And so for businesses who are not updating their profile information, they, to Google's eyes, look as if they are no longer engaged in needing those leads, and so your rankings start to drop. But for those businesses who are, on the platform, engaged, uploading photos, updating their information, your positioning on the platform and the map section begins to rise, because again, like I said, this is what Google wants. Google wants you to be active on the platform. So make sure you're doing all you can with photos and videos as often as you can. Tip number 4 is all about the reviews. Now, I think everybody knows and understands that reviews are important, but Google is using a few things. It's a computer at the end of the day, so it's using a few things to sort of determine your legitimacy and trying to figure out, should I serve up you or your competitor? And it does that through the reviews. It does that through the information that it has on your profile. It does that through the activity that you engage on the dashboard. And so you always want to get reviews. All day, every day, you're trying to get reviews and trying to get people to mention your business and show Google that you're doing good work. Obviously, the higher that number can be, the better. And again, so getting in there, letting people do your reviews is going to go a long way to, again, lifting your profile up on the platform. So our 5th tip is going to be for you to add your Google map as an iframe on the footer of your website if possible. And you're doing this again to show Google that is trying to link up your Google My Business profile with your website. Showing that link, that those two things are connected. If you don't have the ability of adding the Google map as an iframe on your footer of your website, at a minimum you should be adding your NAP, or what's considered to be your name, your business name, your address, and your phone number. And again, so this is one of those things that Google uses to determine, are you legit? And it wants to make sure that it's the same on your website, your name, address, and phone number, that it's the same on your website as it is in your Google My Business listing. That's why it's important that that information that's listed for your business be the correct information. So you're not putting tracking numbers in your Google My Business profile. You're putting your legitimate business information in there so that Google can sync up the two things online and says, yes, that is legit. So one bonus piece, even though we just have a top 5 here, but one bonus piece to this is, again, the primary goal here is to be active in Google My Business. So there are a lot of things in there now too, like posts that you can do, offers that you can create. You can even create a website inside of Google My Business. But doing those things, again, being active in Google My Business, uploading images, posts, creating offers, getting the reviews, linking it to the websites, all those things, those are important. And so if you can get those things done on a consistent basis and not just setting it, and creating those things one time and then not getting back to it until 6 months later, 9 months later, that's going to do a lot for your ranking over time. It's one of those things that you can do on your own. It's free. It really just takes your own time and dedication to doing that if you don't have someone like us, working on your behalf to do that for you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Please let us know if you have any comments about what we went over today. If there was anything that was over your head or sounded like gibberish, feel free to give us a call. We'd gladly take a look at your account and see if we can figure out how we can help you improve your Google My Business so you can get higher rankings if that's something that you desire. But again, like I mentioned, this is definitely something that you can do on your own, just putting in the time and effort to do so. All right, till next time, we'll see you.